Hey guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter's Reality TV. I can't even remember the channel name. It's so long. Peter's Reality TV recaps and opinions, but mostly opinions, because this is my opinion. No, that's not how it's said. It's my opinion with Peter Mon. This video has already taken off to a bad start, hasn't it? It's already gotten off. I can't speak today. What is wrong with me? I went to the casino last night with my good Judy Ballerini. We planned to go for a few hours. We left the casino at 4:30 in the morning. But listen, Linda, something happened last night that very rarely ever happens, and that is that I left ahead. Quite a bit ahead, but you'll have to watch my drama channel because I'm going to talk about it over there, or my vlog, or any of my other 19 channels. So, let's get into this video that I have threatened to put out for like a week now over here, and that is Big Brother coverage. So, before I get into this video, where I'm going to talk about last night with the POV, and tonight talking about the double live eviction that they're going to have, I'm trying to get this video up like soon enough that maybe a few people can watch it that are interested. Before the live eviction actually occurs. So we'll see how quick I can get it up, right? But what I wanted to say was that I'm kind of like, this is crazy, right? Like this channel, I am absolutely loving this channel. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and watching this channel. But when it comes to like all the other shows, like I don't really have a hard time getting on here and just sharing my opinion and talking about it. I think with Big Brother, which I honestly like was one of the reasons why I started this channel, because I'm so into this season of Big Brother and I hadn't watched it. And I think since the last All-Star season, I hadn't watched it. And so I am like so into this season, and I'm reading like the online tweets and threads, and I'm reading the blogs, and I'm watching the live streams, and I'm watching the shows and stuff. I think part of the reason is I don't really know how to approach these videos, okay? I don't know if I should just watch the show and do a recap and give my opinion on the show when I know from reading the threads and watching the live streams what happens over the next 4 to 5 days, you know, before the show comes out. I don't know if I should just do a recap of it and give my opinion on the show. I don't know if I should read every 9,000 tweets that go out every 2 minutes about this show, because the show is getting so much traction on social media, right? I don't know if I should read the threads. I don't know if I should keep you guys updated. So I will tell you this, that any video that you watch of mine about Big Brother will probably include spoilers. So if you do not know what is gonna come is coming up on Big Brother, don't watch these videos of Big Brother, because I will probably talk about things that has been shown in the live streams. And I will say this, as closely as I try to, there's like a hair on the end of my hat. As closely as I try to keep up with the live streams, I don't watch the live streams as much as I did when it first started, but as much as I try to keep up with the live streams, I really read a lot of the Big Brother Twitter that's going on, and the Twitter and the blogs and things like that. As much as I try to keep up with all of that, you know, I have 6 other channels, and a life, you know, and a husband, and a dog, and I have to go to the casino with my good Judy Ballerini. So, it's hard for me to keep up with that. But, like, I think my fear in covering this is that I don't really know what to come out and say, because if I just do a recap, then somebody in the comment will be like, well, do you not already know who won's POV and who got, I mean, yeah, but I don't know if I should talk about it, or if I should just spill all of it. And then, like, if I put my video out and I give my opinion, somebody will say, well, 15 minutes ago, Sari flipped the entire house, right? So it's like, no matter what I do, like this season more than any other season, and I watched like every season of Big Brother up to the All-Stars, the last All-Stars, and then I don't know if that was like, what, 5 years ago or something like that, and then I stopped watching it after that. It was hard for me to keep up with. It's not hard for me to keep up with it now. I'm completely consumed with, I'm obsessed with Big Brother, right? And so, yeah, so like I don't really know how to approach it. And this, like what I was going to say was that this season, more than any other season that I have ever watched, I feel like, whereas before, like even with the live streams when you watch them, like whereas before, like they would talk, you know, like have alliances, and they would talk game and things like that. This is like the first season that I've ever watched where, and like my good Judy Tanya Jean and I, we used to lay on her couch, like, I mean, 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning and watch, you know, Big Brother After Dark and all that kind of stuff. And we would like, we loved them when they would like whisper on the back patio. That was like ASMR to it. ASMR is ASMR. I call it ASMR. But anyway, that was like ASMR for us, right? We would just sit there and drinking our fountain pops and things like that. We'd be like, oh my God, can you believe that she just said that? Oh my God, can you believe that Davon just said that? Or, you know, Janelle or somebody. But anyway, or Case or what. I've got my favorites, okay? I've got my favorites. We all got our favorites. And this is the thing that whatever you say, it's like, I have my favorites for this season. I have my snooze fest for the season, like Bowie Jane. I think she's a complete snooze fest. She's a floater, which means she'll probably make it to the final 2 because nobody's threatened by her, so she'll probably end up getting out in the final 2, make it to the final 2. I know okay, well, I'll get into this in just a second. So anyway, so, what was I gonna say? So yeah, so like, I've watched it for a long time, but this year, it seems like they are constantly talking about game. Like, one of my favorite scenes so far was when Jag and Matt in America were sitting outside, and Jag and Matt were, like, using their, you know, their, what do you call them, their, oh, the headphone thing, not the headphone things, but, you know, their microphone thing sets, and they were acting like they were cell phones, and they were texting each other, like, acting like they were going to go on a date, and America was, like, laughing. That, to me, was, like, one of the best scenes so far this season, because it showed, like, really, like, who they are in their downtime, because I feel like they have talked game so much. Like, literally, like, I feel like Cirie, and I love Cirie, I really do, like, a fan of hers on Trader, so happy that she won, and stuff like that. But Cirie, Izzy, and Felicia, like, have nonstop talked about game, like, the entire time. I mean, unless Felicia is, like, in the kitchen cooking, right? So, like, for me, like, I feel like they're constantly talking about game to the point where it's, like, they'll make a decision, and then 5 minutes later, the decision switches, and then 5 minutes later, they flip the house, and then 5 minutes later, it's like this person comes out, and then they decide they don't like that person anymore, and then they fall in love with that person again. I mean, it switches so much, it's so hard to keep up with this season, right? So I don't really know how to cover it, to be honest with you, because whatever I say in this video right in this moment, in 20 minutes it's going to change. And that's kind of my conundrum. So please let me know in the comment section below if you'd like me to just do recaps of the episodes, if you'd like me to talk about what I've seen in the threads or the live streams, or just comment on my favorites and things like that. Just to come out of the gate, I will say, I said in a video the other day that I thought the final 2 would be Mimi and Matt, and I thought Mimi would win. I think Mimi is playing a very smart game. She kind of is a floater that is getting kind of involved, and I think she's going to be a floater up till about 4 or 5, and then I think her game will turn on, and she will just come out of the gate playing really hard, right? I think she's actually probably better at physical comps than she's let them know at this point, and I think she's going to wait and hold on to that till she's down to the 4 or 5, right? I felt that she would make it till the final 2, except that Felicia and her made a final 2 deal, okay? And this was shown in the Wednesday night episode, the POV episode, that they made a final 2 deal. And when I saw that, I was kind of like, and it doesn't surprise me. What surprised me about it was that Mimi said that she needed somebody that was, like, really smart and thought through things to, like, go, you know, have her back and things like that. And I thought, and Felicia is who you're choosing for this. Felicia can literally be swayed. I mean, one person can talk to Felicia, you know, and say, like, well, you know, like, Matt was eating a chocolate bar in the kitchen, so I think that means that he's coming for Cameron. Oh, I agree. We're coming for Cameron. Like, Felicia is so easy to coerce in this house. Like, I like Felicia. I really like her. Like, on the outside, I would love to be friends with her. But she's not really that great of a game player. And in all honesty, she's going to turn on Cirie right now. When if it wasn't for Cirie and Izzy, Felicia would never have made it this far in the game, okay? It's not even that she can't win physical comps. She can't even compete in physical comps, okay? And there are other people that are her age that have competed on the show that have done much better than her in physical comps. And I'm not dogging her for that. But it's like she doesn't do very well in physical comps. She doesn't really do that well in any comps, right? So her only competition strategy that she has is these alliances in the house. Well, up to this point, okay, and I know she wants to turn on them now because they didn't save her off the block. Whatever, but she's still in the house, right? Okay, so she doesn't know the behind the scenes of how that all went down. But her saving grace that got her this far was literally Cirie, Jared, and Felicia, and she has no allegiance to that whatsoever. Like, she's willing to spend on a dime, right? So, or flip on a dime. So I'm like, okay, this shows that you're a bad game player, and for Mimi, this worries me for her because I feel like Felicia's going to get real messy in the next week or two. She's going to make it very obvious that she's coming for Cirie and Jared, okay? She can't close her mouth to save her life. And I think that this is going to put... I think she'll even come out and be like, well, I got a final 2 with Mimi, so F you. You know, like, I think she'll say something like that. It really worries me as far as Mimi's game down the road. So I think, actually, Matt will probably win the whole show. I think Matt is playing a really smart game. Because even if, like, he's telling Jag one thing, but he is more sided with Cirie, he keeps it all to himself. Like, he is playing a very smart game. Plus, I think he's so likable. Like, people in the house love him. America loves him. I mean, he's just such a likable guy. Like, he would make such a great winner of the show, right? And he would make a great all-star player as well. I mean, several of these people would make great all-star players, you know? I think the one thing that's so interesting to me about this season is that all of them, like, get their feelings hurt by stuff that happens. Like, this is, like, I mean, I've seen it in other seasons. You know, when people get pissed off and they say something when they're leaving the house and whatever. Like, Izzy really showed her ass when she was leaving the house. And she, you know, said something to Cameron about, I'll see you next week. And then she said something to, you know, Corey because she found out they had turned on her. But this is my thing, right? Like, Jared said in his POV thing when he put Cameron up. So, for y'all that don't know, the Power of Veto competition, Jag won, and it was America and Corey on the block. Jag took Corey down, okay, and the plan is to backdoor Cameron and get Cameron out. Now, I think that is flipped about 5 times, 6 times at this point, of who they're going to get out at this point, and I think Suri had the votes to flip it, so I don't know who they're going to get out at this point. We'll read on Twitter in just a second and see what's going on. So anyway, but that's what's happened. Corey has become so smug. I mean, he's just like sitting up here. And first of all, you're growing out your facial hair for this girl that you don't even really want to be with, okay? Like, he's got America in there, and she's, like, fawning all over him, and all of a sudden that gives him stud status. And everybody thinks he's so smart. He's really not that smart of a player if you sit back and watch him. I mean, he's not like an Ian or something like that. He doesn't really know the game that well. I mean, him figuring out about the 7 Deadly Sins Alliance or whatever, like he figured that out so late. Like, Izzy told him. Like, it wasn't like he figured it out. Izzy told him. He's not that smart. People think he's super, super smart. He really is not that smart, right? And when he came in, I thought he was, like, a really nice guy. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't have confronted Jared like he did, because I would have, right? Like, I think that Suri's biggest downfall is Jared, in all honesty. Jared is great at physical comps, and so he's saving Suri that way. But the way that he's playing the game inside the house with people, like, he has literally pissed off the whole house. That is not good for Suri's game, okay? Where he wants to sit there and be like, I'm such a legend, look at me, mom, and stuff like that. I'm like, you're not a legend, because you don't know how to play. You don't know how to play the charisma game. You don't know how to interact with these people because you're willing to just, you know, cuss somebody out their face. And you don't know how to, like, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? Actually, Cameron's pretty good at that. And I know that Cameron's the most hated person. I feel like from week to week, I kind of flip on how I feel about Cameron. I mean, it would be hard to be in that house, and every week everybody want me out. Like, that would be hard, you know? So I get it. I think the thing that surprises me is, like Jared said in his... So, yesterday... Jag, he won the POV, the Power Veto. He took down... I mean, some of these POV competitions are so boring to me. I feel like it's the same POV competition, just with different setups every single time. And so he took Corey down to backdoor Cameron. Jared put up Cameron and all this kind of stuff with the idea that, you know, that they're going to backdoor Cameron. And like I said, I think that's flipped like 15 times, all this kind of stuff. But Jared said... No matter what I do or what happens in this house, just know that I love you guys outside of here. And you know, what's interesting to me about that is these, like, I feel like this is one of the first seasons I've ever watched, I don't know about the last couple seasons, where everybody takes it so emotional. It's like, I can't believe you lied to me. Like, you lied to me. Like, ah. And I'm like, you're on Big Brother. Like, everybody lies on Big Brother. Okay, that's like literally the game of Big Brother, right? The fact that Suri, Felicia, and Izzy were in 16 alliances was brilliant, okay? If any one of them can make it to the final 2, they deserve to win the game for keeping so many alliances and fake alliances going at the same time. And I know people hate it, but it's the truth. Like, they came in to win the game. They fucking talked the game the whole time. Okay, but then, I mean, one of my favorite scenes was the scene between Izzy and Suri, where Izzy started crying. And I mean, you could really tell that past the game, Suri and Izzy really care about each other and love each other. And I just think it's so genuine that's what came out of it. I also love that Suri told Jared to put her up. It would have been so smart that she was willing to lose her game and go off the show for Jared. Like, that to me really showed the character of Suri Fields, and I loved that scene, that she's had her chance, you know, she's had her day in the sun with all of her shows, let Jared have it, right? And even though she said the only time this would come out, this was last night, the only time that it was shown on the show, it happened several days ago, But the only time this would be actually in play would be if Cameron won the veto and couldn't be backdoored. Then she said, put me up, right? To save your game. And I was like, this just really shows the character, because no matter who you are in this house, I don't care. Like, most of these people are, like, lying and deceitful. Like, the only people that have really played, like, super honest games and really haven't talked a lot of, like, mad shit behind the scenes is Bowie Jane, who I don't even think has any clue what is ever going on in that house. Which is so surprising, because isn't she a judge and a DJ? And when she came into the house, I really liked her. I thought she is going to be such a brilliant player in this house. She would bore a snake, okay? And the only reason she's made it this far is because she's a complete floater, right? And there's really not that many floaters in the house anymore. And the other person that really hasn't gotten into that much kind of drama is Mimi. But Mimi is doing it and playing a smart game, right? Matt plays both sides and lies, but he keeps it to himself. Like, Matt is playing a really smart game when you stand on the outside and you look at it, and I really like him. Blue is so emotional, and that can be volatile for whoever she's playing a game with, okay? Jag is a brilliant game player, physical comps and mentally. He is a brilliant game player. When Corey was going off on Jared in the room and talking about how he lied and all that kind of stuff, like, Jag really didn't want to get involved in the conversation. Like, he said what he had to say because Corey asked him, but he didn't really want to get involved in the conversation because he knew that it would screw him, right? I mean, everybody knows that Suri is a brilliant game player. They knew that on day one when she was coming in, so how any of them have trusted her. But they all get so bent out of shape, and it's like, I can't believe that you lied to me, and oh my God, you betrayed me, and all this kind of stuff, and it's like this whole conversation between Blue and Jared and their showmance, and then she wouldn't say this to him, and he was really disappointed in her, and I'm like, y'all, like, well, first of all, Jared is just saying what he needs to say to Blue to keep her in his, you know, keep her on his side, and Blue hasn't figured that out yet, and is starting to figure it out, which is why she's turning against Jared, right? Which Jared is so stupid, because Blue is the one person that can blow his secret of Suri being his mom. If I knew that, like, they kept Izzy so close. This is where Jared is not a smart player, because Suri knew that they had to keep Izzy close because Izzy knew that from day one, right? So they kept Izzy very, very close at the beginning for that. Then they liked her, right? Blue knows the secret, and she's willing to spill that, and Jared's willing to piss her off at the expense of his secret coming out, which they already don't like Suri and Jared and think they're running the house and they want him to get out, right? So give them one more reason to get rid of you and piss off Blue and have it come from your closest confidant in the house that you had a showmance with, that she's going to tell everybody that Jared is not what he seems and that he's been hiding a secret as well. You might as well just sign your papers to meet with Julie. You know, I mean, like, to be honest with you, like, that is so dumb what he is doing. I would be kissing that girl's ass to keep her on my side to not share my secret. I'd be like, girl, we got a final two. We're going all the way, okay? You know, and even if she got put up on the block, I'd play dumb and be like, no, I'm not going to vote for you. I swear I won't vote for you and whatever. And I'd probably even throw her a sympathy vote and be like, I did not know that the house was turning on you, so that as she walked out the door, she didn't throw out my secret. He's a dumb game player. Like, he really is. And he thinks he's so smart. You know, and Cameron thought he was so smart. I'm bringing all this chaos to the house. I was like, girl, I could have brought so much more chaos to that house, please, okay? Who am I forgetting that's still in the house? There's Matt, Bowie Jane, Felicia, Mimi, all these cars starting and things around here while I'm trying to make videos. I'm trying to make videos! Move on with your day! Okay, Bowie Jane, Mimi, Felicia, Matt, Josh Duhamel. No, he's not a player. But anyway, okay, Suri, Jared, America, Corey, Jag. Who am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Well, anyway, and they got two more down. So tonight is going to be a double live eviction, all right? And this is the thing, all right, is that they have flipped and flopped so many times. I think that what they will end up doing is, I think they will end up, because for their team, it's actually better for them to keep America, because America is so closely tied to Corey, and they are wanting to go on Corey's side. So no matter what they say on the live streams about how they're flipping votes and stuff, because if you read the live streams, they'll like talk up to the minute about how they're going to flip the house and flip the vote, and then you watch the show and they do the absolute opposite. They do what they planned originally. So I think because America is so closely aligned with Corey, and that side of the house wants to team up with Corey and America, I think they'll keep America. I don't think Suri has the votes to flip the house. I just don't, okay? Because I think people are questioning Suri at this point, that I don't think that those people will side with her. And I don't think she knows that. So I think that they'll keep America America, and they'll get rid of Cameron because they feel like they can't work with Cameron because he's so untrustworthy. So Cameron will go. Now, what everybody thinks is going to happen is that one of the other people will win, and they'll put up Jared and Cirie. Okay? Now, what I think will happen if that happens, and neither one of them wins the POV. Well, what will happen is, if one of them wins the POV, it will probably be, if that happens, and Cirie and Jared are put up next to each other, okay? Because it's going to be real quick tonight, right? If Jared wins the POV, he's going to take himself down, all right? We know that. Because Cirie's already said, she'll tell him, take yourself down, let me go. And so he'll take himself down. They'll put somebody that nobody will vote up next to him, like Bowie Jane, or something like that. That will just be a pawn, and then, or up next to Cirie, and then Cirie will get voted out. That is a possibility, okay? The other possibility is that neither one of them gets saved and wins the POV, and that, what am I saying? That happens, and then neither one of them gets saved, and then I think they'll vote Jared out, because they're more threatened by Jared right now because he's causing so much disruption in the house, and because he is a great physical comp player. And so they threaten that they're not going to be able, they want to get people out that are good physical comp players, right? And I think the majority of them have a lot of respect for Cirie. What they don't know is that she really has the ability to go to the very end if they keep on allowing her to get away. I mean, Cirie feels, as much as I love her, would have been the first person I would have gotten out of that house, period, in the story. It was stupid for all of them to keep her and look up to her like, oh, she's Cirie Fields. She'd been the first person I got out of the house, okay? Just like when they have all these other people that come in, like if Davon or Janelle or Kaysar or any of those people that I've mentioned before, all the big players, Nicole, all those people, if they came in that house, they'd be the first person I get rid of because they know the game too well. Cirie knows reality TV too well. She knows what to say. She knows what is going. She knows how to play the game of any reality show. They needed to get her out first. That's what they needed to do to save their game, right? But they didn't do that. So they might keep Cirie because they have a lot of respect for Cirie. So that might be what happens, is that Jared and Cirie are sitting next to each other, and then they get rid of Jared because they're so threatened by Jared, okay? The other thing that might happen is that Cirie might win the POV. Now, if Cirie wins the POV, what I believe that she will do is that she will take down Jared. Because she doesn't want Jared to lose his game. And I think at this point, she doesn't really care if the secret is spilled. She knows it can't hurt them anymore. That if that comes out, like, they're so hated in the house already because people are so threatened by them. Well, not hated, but they're so threatened. People are threatened by them that, and a lot of people don't like Jared, right? And they feel like Cirie has manipulated the house. So the secret of them being a mother and son together, I think she would rather it come from her than them finding out on their own and exposing it as a secret. So she may say, I'm taking Jared off the block. I want to go. She's already said she wants to go home, kind of, to people. I think that she may take Jared off the block and say, and this is what a mother does for his son. And I think she may expose the secret herself so that it doesn't fall on other people to call it the secret. And then it's coming from Cirie, and she can control the narrative. And then they'll throw up a Bowie Jane against Cirie, and then Cirie will go home. And I think she'll be completely fine with that, right? Now, the other thing that people aren't thinking about is that Cirie could win the POV. If Cirie wins the POV back-to-back with Jared winning the POV, it is fucking on in that house, okay? And I think that she will throw up Corey and Jag is who I think she'll throw up on the block. And if one of them takes themselves down, I think she'll throw America up on the block, and I think that they'll get rid of Corey. And the thing is that it's going to go so fast. And this is the point in the game when people, at the double eviction, when people are really starting to think about their game, and they want to get out threatening people that have a lot of power in the house, okay? So if Cirie wins head of household, she hasn't won one yet. I think she has it in her to win, but she hasn't won it yet. If Cirie wins head of household, and she puts up, like Corey next to Jag, because they're probably the biggest people in the house right now that should be the people are most threatened by. If she puts up Corey and Jag, because I think she thinks she can still convince Felicia, she puts up Corey and Jag, and one of them takes themselves down, the other one will go, okay? Hands down. I don't think they're really that threatened by America yet, which is crazy to me because America is actually probably one of the smartest players in the house, and she's really putting stuff together left and right. Mimi is too. It might come down to America and Mimi if they don't get rid of America first, because Mimi is flying under the radar. Mimi and America are both very smart players. It's just America's very lippy with what she's saying. She's telling too many people. Mimi is being smart about it. She's keeping it to herself. She's keeping her people close. She's not talking about it. Mimi's playing a very smart game, and I would have absolutely no problem problem with Mimi or Matt winning. I actually, to be honest with you, I wouldn't have a problem with Mimi winning. I wouldn't have a problem with Matt winning. I'd have a problem with Felicia winning. I love Felicia, but I feel like she's been a floater on other people's backs this whole season. I don't really think she's done anything that's that powerful, that's deserving of a win. She thinks she does. She has. She thinks she deserves final 2, but I don't think she does. I wouldn't have a problem with Suri winning, obviously, because I'm a super fan of hers, but also because I think she's played a really brilliant game. I don't think Jared's played that great of a game, but he's done great in physical comps. So I don't know. Like, if Jared won, I'd be okay with it, but I'd be like, I think there are more people that are deserving of a better gameplay in this house, because I think it is a combination of a lot of things. Suri hasn't done great in physical comps, so I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I don't think that the winner has to be somebody that, for me, the winner is the person that has played the best game overall, okay? I think Mimi has played an incredible game. I think Matt is probably, with all the information he knows and what he's keeping to himself and how he's talking to people and who he's siding with, all this kind of stuff, Matt is probably playing the most genius game and right now, and is really good at kind of playing dumb about things and not letting people know. So I would absolutely 100% have no problem with Matt winning or Mimi, okay? Bowie Jane, she's a floater. She has no right winning this entire game. In fact, if it comes down to Bowie Jane winning this, I'll be like, now Jag, I would have no problem with Jag winning this game. I think Jag has played a brilliant game. Honestly, if Cameron came down to it and Cameron won, as much as he's disliked, it's so funny because I was talking to my friend Nikki when this whole thing started, and she's like, what do you think? And I said, I think Cameron's kind of good looking. And she was like, oh, gross. She's like, I can't stand him and whatever. And then she texted me the other day, and she was like, her opinion's probably changed, because our opinions change from day to day, right? She was like, she goes, my mom and I are kind of really starting to like Cameron. And I was like, this is the thing. If he gets to the final 2, he's been on the block so many times. He's won POV. He's done one household. He's played a really good game. He really has. For staying in the house as long as he has, I mean, he has really done well. He really has. And so I wouldn't have a problem with Cameron winning, no matter if he's unlikable or not. Like, I wouldn't have a problem with Cameron winning. American Corey, I think, are just, like, she's so focused on the showmance. She'd rather have the showmance happen than win the game. So, no, I don't want her to win. Corey thinks he's so smart. He's cocky. He's smug. He's not as smart as he thinks he is. And he needs to get rid of that mustache, okay? I know you're growing the mustache out and the facial hair for your girlfriend, but it's a bad look, okay? And you were better looking without the mustache, okay? Like that nerd look was a better look for you, and she liked you from that anyway. There's no need to be growing out that patchy facial hair, okay? But anyway, I liked Corey when he came to the house, because Corey was, like, so innocent and in love with the game, and I thought, oh, he's going to be a great game player in this. I don't think he's really that great of a game player. Who else is there? I mean, the rest of them, I don't really think that there's anybody that's that great of deserving to win. So that's what I think could happen tonight with the HOA double eviction. What I think will really end up happening is I think Cameron will go home, and they'll keep America. And then I think that Jared will end up going home and they'll keep Felicia, or keep Suri. That's what I think will end up happening. But it could be crazy with a double live eviction, you know? So anyway, in the comment section below, let me know what you want me to talk about in these videos and how you'd like me to pursue it. If you liked what I did tonight, you know, I was going to actually read and see, get on Twitter real quick and see what people are talking about. Here, let me pull up. I feel like my Big Brother feeds come up, like, constantly. Oh. Okay, hold on a second. Why is none of my Big Brother stuff coming up? Let's look it up. Okay, Big Brother. Let's see what's happening in the house. Big Brother Daily. Okay, let's see what's happening in the house. Oh, this goes back. What is this? 6 days ago. That thing must be no good. Okay, Big Brother. What's the other one that I follow that has stuff all the time? Big Brother. Why is it not pulling up these things? Search, top. Big Brother, uncensored. Why can't I not find my accounts for this? Well, you know what let's do? Let's just put in hashtag Big Brother 25, BB25, because that's what I do. So if you want to follow up this stuff. Oh, Big Brother Live Updaters. This is the one I follow. Okay, so 8 minutes ago, Corey tells Cam he's not naive. He just plays it up. Cam thinks everyone looks at Corey and wants to use his brain. Corey wonders the chances America leaves before him. In the first half, he was good. Now he's not so sure. Cam points out that with him gone, it's Corey and Jared next. Well, that's the game that Cameron's playing, right? This is going to stop. Hold on a second. Okay, that's the game that Cameron's playing. Like, if you get rid of me, then you guys are going to be the next that they come for. That's a stupid gameplay, okay? That's not, I mean, him saying that, like, I will do everything in the world to do for you, but he's also been the biggest liar, like, just the week before. Everything he did, he lied about, right? So nobody's gonna trust what he has to say. I mean, that was such a Heisem move, you know, when he came out and he's like, I will literally be, you know, the biggest player for you and all that kind of stuff. So that's such bullshit, and I think they all know that. But, like, him saying that they're gonna come for Corey and Jared next. Well, of course they're going to do that. Like, I mean, that doesn't take a brain surgeon to understand that. Okay, then 38 minutes ago, Blue lets Jag know that America said twice yesterday that it was Corey who told her about the 7 Alliance, not Izzy like she said last week. Nothing major, but it's a discrepancy. Okay, 1 hour ago, Felicia tells Jag that Jared is getting nervous. They agree that as long as they stick together, they'll be fine. They have to trust someone. If Felicia puts Sari and Jared up, they would most likely pick himself or Matt to play veto. Are they thinking, did Felicia win? This is live tonight. Why are they thinking that Felicia's gonna, she keeps on talking about if she wins head of household. She ain't gonna win head of household, okay? If she does, like, listen, that's like the movie you never thought would win at the Oscars, okay? She won a head of household, like, and that was fantastic and all that kind of stuff, but do I think that Sheree has it in her to win another one or a POV? I doubt it. I feel like some of these head of households and POVs that they're doing to, let me know if you feel this way. I feel like they're doing them to kind of stack them in favor of certain people to win the POV or the head of household. Like, you have to remember, right? Like, it's not like they have a set course that possibly behind the scenes. Like, they have all these that they're going to do, but like, if they know that they want like Sari or Felicia or somebody to win, like, an HOH, they're going to do, because this is what, they're going to do a more, like, mental comp, right? Because they have a better chance of winning that than a physical comp. So then they do a mental comp. They know that they're not going to win a physical comp, right? Which, can we just talk about that spinning chair deal? When they were all spinning in that chair? And Felicia's not even paying attention. This is why she is not a good game player. Okay, she's getting so sick, she can't get off that chair to save her life. And every time she's sitting there with her head back and her head's just rolling around like this. I'm like, girl, are you not watching the other players? The other players are closing their eyes and have their faces down like this. And you're the only one with your head rolling back. I'm like, this alone proves what a bad player you are, okay? And I like Felicia as a person, I do, right? But anyway, I don't know why Felicia thinks she keeps on talking about who she's going to put up this week when she wins HOH. Well, maybe she will, and I don't know, but she's just going to put up Sari and Jared. You so quickly spun on Sari after she saved your ass for week after week. Now, I know Jared didn't give you that thing because it was down to you and Izzy, okay? But that's your own fault because you didn't win the POV. And they had to pick between two of their closest friends, you know? So, I mean, and Izzy ended up going home and you're still here, so stop your bitching and complaining, right? But she's talking, and she is so, I mean, that should show her loyalty, that Sari has literally had her back this whole game, and she is so quick to flip on her. I mean, give me a break. And not to mention, Felicia was lying to the entire house about all the alliances, too, so it's not like she's so grand. Felicia had full knowledge of all of those alliances she was in, but now she's throwing Sari and Jared under the bus with all this kind of stuff, right? Okay. 1 hour ago, Corey plucking his nipple hair in the storage room. Gross. Okay. 1 hour ago, Jared asked Matt how Jag is feeling. Matt isn't sure. They haven't talked a lot in the past couple of days. Jared points out that if Jag is becoming Corey America's protector, that's a problem. See, Jared's real threatening in the house to people. I think that that's not a good look for him. Like, he needs to play a smarter game. Jared lets Matt know that Corey left his name out of people he trusts, which is weird. Okay, let's go on here. Let's see something big. The cameras are always going down for the live streams, it seems like. Jag, we have to win. America, I'm shaking. Corey, watch after this. We watch it back, and it's 3 confessionals in a row saying, I want to win, but I'm close to Sari and Jared. Jag and America laugh. Feeds are cutting off. Who are they saying? Okay. I will say that when they were confronting about these alliances, and Jared goes, what's for real, for real? I'm like, dude, like, just come out and be honest about it. Like, you know? And Sari's sitting over there like, she didn't even know what to say. I'm like, girl, you've literally played in 4 of the biggest reality shows, and now 5, okay? Just be like, yeah, we were in all those fucking alliances, and they were fake. We were doing it to protect our ass just like you guys are doing right now. Okay? So hate us for trying to protect our asses and play the game of Big Brother, but that's what it was. 7 Deadly Sins was real. All of you guys were in it. Sorry, Corey, that you felt like you were lied to. We had to do that to save our game. She should have just been honest about it. I saw something about where They had like, Felicia said Suri has played my ass from the very beginning. Oh, you think, Felicia? You think that Suri played your ass when she protected you? Literally down to almost the jury house? Okay, Felicia, you wouldn't be sitting in the jury house if it hadn't been for Suri. Because you're not that smart of a game player, okay? You really aren't. I can't with all this. So anyway, let's see what happened. And I like Felicia, right? But you were talking about all these smug-ass people in this house thinking that their game is so smart. There's only like 3 or 4 people that are really that good at game players in there, you know? Like, Jag is smart because Jag is a really good physical comp player, and he's a really good mental player, too, as far as, like, the game and strategies, but he keeps a lot of it to himself, but he just trusts the wrong people. That's the problem with Jag, right? So, anyway, and Jared is so problematic. I don't know. Like, I liked Jared at the beginning, but then he got in this showmance, and that's going to screw anybody's gameplay up. And then he's telling Blue all this stuff about who his mom was in the house. Oh, it's Miss Felicia, or then she starts putting together that story. That was stupid. Then he starts threatening people. Then he lies to Cameron, not thinking that lie is going to come out about Red and all this, because he's telling everybody. Jared is playing such a stupid game in the house. I'm just sitting here watching it, and then he's nasty to people, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like this game is going to a lot of people's heads, and that's why I really like Matt and Mimi and Jag, because I don't feel like it's gone to their heads yet, and I think that they're just staying in the game, and I think that they're playing really great games. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. It might come down to Jag, Mimi, and Matt, and if that case, then the final 2 will be Matt and Jag. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Because I think Jag would win then. Because I think people like Matt, but I don't think they think he's played as good a game as Jag has. So I think they would give it to Jag. Which kind of makes me sad, because watching it from the outside looking in, I think that Matt's played a better game than Jag anyway. But let me know, although he really thought that he was going to meet Josh. I was like, oh, sweetheart. Like, seriously. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below, and we'll see if we're right tonight when we watch it. I love you guys, and I will be reporting back tomorrow about the double live eviction tonight. I love you, and I'll see you then. Bye.